happened in sparring, man? I beat you up, man. Me and you went toe to toe, man. Give me an opportunity, man. Martin Bakole. Now, keep in mind, Martin Bakole is looking for a fight now. You know, he's called out Dubois, as you guys know. He's now he's calling out AJ, and he's using the usual tactics. Hey, you know what I did to you in sparring. And my counterpunch is like, look, you had us going with the Jared Anderson fight, and that was actually it was a pretty good fight. It was very impressive. But since then, bro, he's been beaten by Joseph Parker, you know, coming in all fat. And you know what, though? To look at that for just a second, guys, to talk about Bakole for a minute, taking that fight. It just shows you the disrespect or the disregard of professionalism coming in like that. Bro, you knew you wasn't in any kind of shape to even take a fight with Joseph Parker. You know, Danny Dubois bitched out because they had a better opportunity for him. We all know that now, and we know how that unfolded. But for Martin Bakole, you know, just taking the money like that, knowing that he wasn't in shape, fooling the public that he was until he showed up all fat, looking like Fat Albert, you know what I mean? Then he gets caught like that. I mean, it's pretty unprofessional, because you should have enough integrity to know, bro, I'm in no kind of shape to be fighting anybody. You know what I mean? Especially like, what, 2-3 day notice. He wasn't in any kind of shape to be fighting anybody. And really looking at that, he should be ashamed of himself coming in like that. You know what I mean? And sure, I do blame the people that, you know, his coach / manager and all that. I blame him too, because, you know, and I don't even know if he knew, but I don't even think he cared at that point. I think he was just like, look, let's, you know, we're going to fight twice. So he was worried more about his money than, you know, Martin Bakole. Of course, Martin's getting paid. He's the one taking the punches, but, you know, he shouldn't have been in there with Joseph Parker. But anyway, moving on from that, you know, then he fights Efe Ajagba. Efe Ajagba showed improvement. He showed that he could box and move and follow a game plan. And, you know, that being said, it was like, okay, you know, Efe Ajagba beat you. Now you want to fight AJ. And here's the thing, though. He wants to fight AJ for the money. You know, Martin Bakole is first cousins to Andy Ruiz at this point. These guys are wanting to get paid. You know what I mean? So they want those guys, those usual suspects that will supply them a nice fight purse. You know what I'm saying? That's all this is. You want Danny Dubois, he knows, well, there's money in it. You know, AJ, there's money in it. Usyk, of course, there's money in it. You know, a lot of these fights that he's calling out is money involved, which they're prize fighters, which I get that. But, you know, the talk about what happened in sparring at this point is just getting redundant. Like, dude, you've talked about what happened in sparring 3 or 4 times. And what's happened, basically, you've got your ass whooped and got a gift win in your last fight. We haven't seen him since. You know, and Martin Bakole, he's supposed to be doing this and doing that. You know, you can tell that he looks the same. You know what I mean? Again, he looks the same, and I'm like, well, you know, start whooping somebody's ass in the ring. You know what I mean? Like, can we get another Jared Anderson performance? Can we get that? Because that's been too long ago now. You know, you've got your ass whooped twice since then. So let's get something else besides you talking about sparring wars. You know what I mean? And AJ may be a winnable fight for Martin Bakole. But then again, you know, we don't know what AJ's going to come in the ring. We know he's hanging out with Usyk and all that stuff. So, you know, him talking about sparring, though, bro, it's just getting old to me. That's getting old, too old. You know, for him to keep talking and regurgitating sparring rumors and wars and times and sessions and bro, it's just getting old. I think Mark Bakole should just fight somebody or give Efe Ajagba a rematch. And I think honestly, Efe Ajagba should be fighting for a title. You know what I mean? Because he was the only one that ended in a jacked up situation. Because of Mark McCauley pulling that bullshit by fighting Joseph Parker. You know what I mean? Because it threw him out of the IBF rankings, which had nothing to do with Efe Ajagba, which sucked. But anyway, you guys tell me what you think of Mark McCauley once again calling out another fighter, this time Anthony Joshua. You know what I did in Sparring, man? Of course, please subscribe. And you guys been Counterpunch.